evening. It's 6 o'clock on Saturday, the 8th of July, 2017. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, bringing you the day's national top stories translated into English 6 days a week. It seems like Lulzim Basha is focusing his campaign for continuing his leadership as DP chairman on the premise of the so-called vote-buying phenomenon. During his electoral meetings with the Democratic Party supporters in fear, Mr Basha declared that the opponents had regulated the vote buying before the Democratic Party had even started their campaign. It was not a real electoral process. It was a manipulated process since the beginning. When we started the campaign, our opponents were at the end of their campaign. They had finished their work when the Democrats started their campaign, presenting the platform, the plan to take the country out of the economic crisis. They closed their campaign not with a plan, a platform or an alternative, but, as they perfectly know, by buying votes, by offering jobs in the administration, by offering money collected from drug trafficking, and by changing people's will, declared Mr Basha. He added that the Democrats' duty is to be united, just like the Democrats in Kavaya, saying, "Just like in 1991, our duty is to be united in order to, in the next elections, realise the citizens' will for a free society with opportunities for everyone, not only for a selected few." According to Mr Basha, the survey the Prime Minister is currently doing is just further evidence that he had no agenda and offered no alternative program. In continuation of his electoral tour, the candidate for Democratic Party Chairman Edward Selami held meetings with Democratic supporters in Patos, Malakasta, Roskovets and Lushna. Mr Selami told the Democrats that Lulzim Basha's model is a failure, as was seen in the June 25 elections when the citizens refused Basha through their votes. Mr Selami added that Lulzim Basha has also lost the trust of international partners. The candidate for DP chairman promised to return internal democracy to the Democratic Party and to bring in a Western spirit, which, according to him, will be an inspiration to all Democrats and the Albanian people. The Democrats are committed citizens, but they were avoided and not heard. We should return trust, we should go back to the values of freedom and bring them to the Albanian people. We should return internal democracy to the Democratic Party and present a spirit that inspires not only the Democrats but all Albanian people. We should radiate hope to the Albanian people. The Democratic Party has been a promoting force of development since 1992, and I am the best alternative for the progress of Albanian people, declared Selami. Regarding the internal rules, Mr Selami said that if elected as party chairman, he will include in the statute a rule that the party chairman must resign in the case of a defeat at elections. Candidate Selami vowed to work with a platform of union in order to return trust both to the Democratic Party and in the values of democracy. As it has previously warned, the Party for Justice, Integrity and Unity has filed an appeal to the Central Election Commission regarding a parliamentary seat in Tirana. The Party for Justice, Integrity and Unity claims to have received the necessary votes in Tirana in order to get a seat in the Albanian Parliament. Through an announcement, the Party for Justice, Integrity and Unity says, "The PJIU submitted an appeal today to the Central Election Commission for the city of Tirana. The appeal is based on footage taken at the vote counting centres. According to the Electoral Code, the footage constitutes as electoral material. The footage shows that the Party for Justice, Integrity and Unity has, in fact, won a seat in Parliament with dozens of votes more than required. The Central Election Commission is expected to gather on Monday to review the appeal of the PJIU. In the recent meeting of the Central Election Commission, the PJIU representative, Masila Doda, declared that there is evidence that the PJIU has the necessary votes to get a seat in Parliament. The Party for Justice, Integrity and Unity lacked only 36 votes to reach the 3% level that is needed. We requested the Central Election Commission to review all the electoral materials. Video footage is also part of the electoral review materials and should be made available to the CEC, as we are talking about changing the voters' will. We have the evidence that the PJIU has the necessary votes. People's will has been changed and the PJIU's mandate taken away. We have all the evidence and we will make it available to the Central Election Commission, declared Doda, after the recent meeting of the Central Election Commission. According to official data publicised on the Central Election Commission's website, the PJIU has received 12,434 votes in Tirana, accounting for 2.99% of votes. According to the Electoral Code, a party must receive 3% of votes in order to obtain a seat in Parliament. Investing in the digital currency Bitcoin is being seen as a good opportunity by various agencies and companies in Albania to carry out transactions at no cost and in an immediate way. The use of the virtual currency Bitcoin was pitched as an alternative to online banking at the time of the global economic crisis of 2008, but today it appears as a threat to the banking system. Furthermore, as it works only electronically, the experts think that Bitcoin can be a threat not only to the banking system, but they also raise the alarm that Bitcoin can be the simplest way to cleanse money, to make fiscal evasion and to finance terrorism while remaining anonymous. According to the experts, Albanian companies are currently investing in Bitcoin, and the experts think that the institutions should see the widespread use of Bitcoin as alarming, due to the risk of the digital currency being used to trade illegal goods. Whilst data regarding the number of Albanians within Albania involved in using or trading Bitcoin cannot be collected, Tirana and Fear have been identified as two centres where money laundering may be occurring in this form. Today, one single Bitcoin has reached the value of $2,500 and is expected to go up to $4,000 while in the global market. The value of this currency is over $100 billion and is expected to go up to $1 trillion. Albania reduced milk production in 2016 compared to the prior year. The Institute of Statistics notes that the amount of milk produced for consumption was about 11,000 tonnes, dropping by 1.13%. According to data gathered from the factories for the collection and processing of milk, the decline was related more specifically to cow's milk, with production dropping by 2.25%. On the other hand, the data from the Institute of Statistics shows that there has been an increase in the amount of milk collected from sheep and goats, though the milk most commonly consumed by the citizens in 2016 was still processed, pasteurised and semi-skimmed cow's milk. Despite the amount of milk collected for consumption reducing, the amount of milk that is being processed has increased. The production of cheese has increased by 5.37%, with the most sold cheese being cow's cheese with 10.516 tonnes, followed by sheep's cheese with 2,647 tonnes. Instat estimates the sales of processed cheese rose by 9.32%, with the most preferred in the market being soft cheese with 8,101 tonnes, followed by semi-soft with 4,334 tonnes. Molten butter sales grew 56.19%, while traditional butter dropped by 15.7% compared to the previous year. Tirana's City Hall has started work for the reconstruction of the road Imer Ndrajoni. The Mayor inspected the work done so far and announced that the City Hall will invest in a total of 120 other roads. We just finished the reconstruction of a road in the Kino Studio area. Meanwhile, this new road will give access to 10,000 citizens in this area. New roads, modern sidewalks, green areas and parking lots to modernise the neighbourhood, declared the Mayor. He went on to add, Debras Road will be the next one to be reconstructed. We have started with facades on Debras Road in order to increase the value of the shops and apartment buildings in the area. We will now continue with the roads in order to finish it by the end of summer and increase the property values while regulating the road traffic. Driven by the problematic situation with the drinking water, the Mayor reiterated his call for citizens to be cooperative during this season, as the whole of Europe is faced with drought. The Mayor declared that the citizens should not misuse drinking water or electricity. I call on citizens to save water and make sure that water and electricity be treated with respect. We praise valuable things only when we miss them. We are faced with a drought that has also affected the whole of Europe, and we can get through it only by showing culture and civilization, by saving drinking water, concluded the Mayor. That's all for our English edition this evening. My name is Alexandra. Please join me again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. On behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.